Um, I'm William Blunt. I'm one of the RFDs on the West Coast, and today we'll be covering Yardi Voyager maintenance and make readies and a little bit of reporting. Right. So to start off, got your dashboard. We're going to go to Voyager 7. I'm going to go to the training database. And when you first get in there, the role that pops up is the maintenance supervisor role, and this is what the work order dashboard looks like. You can use this to pull different things if you want to look up a unit, if you want to look up a work order number, call statuses, what was scheduled between different dates. I look at this as the advanced find in RealPage. Pretty much does most all that stuff. So we'll start out with creating a work order. So up here in the top, you got functions, add work order. So you're going to put in your property code, which is going to be the village that you're looking at creating the work order for. So it'll be your 4-digit code plus the village 3-letter. And then you can either select unit there or type in the unit. Click there, click OK. And then over on the right, if you click find by caller name, you can select the resident and it'll populate their data. This being the training site, there's no phone number and email, but it would normally populate phone number and email. Then we just go through filling in the blanks. Everything in blue must have something entered. So we're going to do priority, routine, category, appliance. We also want to do subcategory. I'm going to do refrigerator. And up here, brief description. Refrigerator door handle's broken. And then we'll follow it down here, whether you have permission to enter or not. Even if this box is checked in the access notes, I'd put PTES. Just because that's being typed in, that box being checked, if somebody forgets to uncheck it or something like that, that could be an issue. So at least having it in the access notes, you know it's typed in, you know it's verified. And then verify the phone number with the resident and put the phone number in there. And you have problem description. So broken refrigerator door handle. And then location, kitchen, outside, whatever, wherever it is, 3rd bedroom. And that would be all the notes there. And then you would click save. So you got the notes in there, you saved the work order. You can go to labor, edit, and this is where you would put in technician, scheduled date, scheduled time, and then you can hit save. That's the tech number. We're working on getting that changed so it doesn't show the Yardi number, but it shows the actual technician name. Okay, so we got it dispatched to the tech does the work. Typically the rest of it's going to happen on the app, but if you have to manually input something and input their start and finish times, you would go back into this work order number, go to edit, put in their actual start date, finish time, or start time, sorry. Finish date. Finish time. We need to make sure to put the notes in, replace handle. And then we would do work completed and save. I'm not going to save it right now because we're going to go with another scenario that, let's say we didn't have the handle in stock. So we need to order the handle. So in the tech notes, it would be need to order door handle with a model number of whatever that information is. On the app, the tech would typically take a picture. We'd have access to that. Right. So we're putting in what we need for the fridge, door handle. Then we're going to go up here. We're going to go to on hold. And then the reason it's on hold, we're going to use for pending order because this part hasn't been ordered yet. And then go to labor, and I would put the employee name on this as either the warehouse supervisor or whoever in the warehouse that's going to be in charge of tracking the pending parts. So that's going to be me as well. Put a scheduled date for however you guys want to handle that. Irwin, Moffett, it'll be 2 weeks from the date, today's date. So that'd be the 27th. And then just put like 7 a.m. And then we can save that. And then that way, the warehouse is scheduled to whoever's handling the pending parts issue of it. And then you can also either print it, give it to the warehouse, or you can go up here to work order email. And you can put in the warehouse supervisor's email address, subject, and hit send. You know, say, hey, we need to order this, whatever the case may be, and send it to the supervisor. So then they got a copy that they need to order this. So then, okay, warehouse has got it. They're going to order it. They get it ordered. They're going to go back in. They're going to edit this work order. Hold, but then the reason is now going to be on order. And then they would put information down here. Ordered from reliable PO number, whatever information you guys need to keep tracking that information. And then save. Then we get the part in. Same thing, go back into the work order, edit it. Change the reason to in stock. And then they're going to put in the notes, the date, received, in pending cage or whatever other information that the technician is going to need to know where that part is. And then I would also go back up to your email function and send an email to the supervisor or the facility director, depending on your site, how you guys work out that workflow of, or CSR of who's going to schedule the work order with the resident. So that's pretty much creating the work order. There's also a option here. Okay, this was a part say it wasn't just a refrigerator door handle, something big or anything like that. There's a tab on here that has your military info, and you have the option to carve it out if you hit edit. On the ETP, you can carve out that, put the reason, pending parts, and then save it. That's going to have limited restrictions on who can do that. I think it'll be FOMs and facility directors, and then it'll be reviewed. That's very pending on your VPs and how your ETPs are set up. So you're going to want to check with what would be considered a carve out or ETP. Places you have the functions here. You can also put a memo in on the work folder. Whatever you need there. If you needed to change something, update it something, you can add a memo. Attachment, if you had a picture or something you need to put in there. And you can email straight from here to the resident if need be. The other things on here is you can see audit history. So it keeps tabs of anything that's changed, or same thing as the activity in Real Page did. You can also add recurring work orders. Same thing, fill out the information, hit save. So most of the stuff will be entered through the app, but let's cover on inputting the information from a paperwork order from the desktop. So you edit the work order, go into the labor times, put in there, actual start date, today, the times, and then you can go back to other info, input the technician notes, and we put in our notes. We got work completed, and then save. Then as we're going with the work order stuff, there's another role, which is maintenance. And I really like this one. If you go there and you go up here to work order counts dashboard, you can put in your property, submit, and you can see just real quick what work orders are open, call, canceled, dispatch, in progress, what employees have what work orders are open, and you can click on them, like your routine work orders that are open. You can click on them, dig down on it, see what's open. Same thing with the technician, see what they've got left. You're on holds, and just makes it real simple to kind of see everything in one place. So going to the make readies, I like to go, so we got the different roles here, go to military housing 2. And it has its own dashboard here, put in the property code. Rush. And here you can see kind of everything that's happening with the houses, how many move-ins, pending offers, move-outs, pending make-readies, your work order requests, inspections, and how many units you have and how many are available and your occupancy. You can see that all in one spot. On the make-ready side, if you go to the maintenance side, you have pending make-readies. You click on that 5, you can drill down and see what pending make-readies you have. And this is kind of your make-ready dashboard. And you can sort it by any of the columns on the top. You want to sort it by make-ready date. You want to sort it by maintenance work orders, address, anything like that. And I have all this information here. It has the work orders that are created during notice to vacate. You notice that some of them are blank. When we go through the transition from Real Page to Yardi, work orders that are make-ready work orders that are already created in Real Page, when it gets transferred over, it won't show on this slot like these work orders here. It'll show as a regular pending work order. So you would have to go to pending work order request. And you could, sort by unit. And you would see your flooring work order, inspection make-ready. So those would be there. So as we transition and catch up, you'll have to complete those work orders through this part of it. But as people put in their notice to vacate while we're in Yardi, it'll auto create these work orders right here. You'll be able to go in, follow the same procedures with work orders as far as scheduling it, going to labor, putting in the technician name, notes, and then completing it when the work is completed. And then once these are all gone, everything's all completed, you have over here on the right, you can make unit ready. So you can click that to make it ready. You also have a just rent ready date. So say this says it's going to be ready 10/11. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So we're going to put it for, for March 12th. And that'll adjust the make ready date on that. And then once it's ready, you can hit make unit ready, wish to make it ready. Okay, now it pulls it off the board, the unit's ready, it puts up here, puts it into your available units, and the leasing office can see, that unit is already ready and ready to go. Let's touch on some reports. When you first come into Yardi, it's going to be the maintenance supervisor role. So we'll work from there. On the side here, you have analytics, you have reports. The most common reports used are going to be in analytics, work order analytics. And two of the biggest reports I use is the performance summary. If you click up here on the report type, performance summary. And so you have all these blanks you can fill in. You put in your property if you just want to know a unit, employee, everything from there. But this performance summary, you do it by priority. This will be used for your incentives. And down here, you have your different setups. So you can click and hit control and click what you want to see. Typically, your emergency urgent routine. This was something I was messing with. Let's see that. You could do origin, where the work order was created from, category or subcategories or anything else you want to go from. But for your incentive fees, you're going to want to do your emergency urgent routines. Put in your time period. So if we do the month of January, Click display. So this will give you your basic report right here with the response completion. But with the military info tab, if you click over here, you can drill it down even more and put in if you want your carve outs, reasons, and everything's seen on there. And then the important one is your show work orders here. If you want non-carve outs, so if you only want to see everything that is not carved out, if you want to see things that are carved out and not carved out, or just your response carved outs, so you can run it different ways depending on which report you're looking for. I won't do carve out because it won't show me anything. But basically, you have your report, you have your information here. You can also click on any of the blue items and drill down and see what work orders are actually involved in those numbers. You know, why these, you know, why click here. You can see these and click the actual work order number to see why you were late on those work orders, and go through that from there. So the next report that is commonly used is the directory report. And you can do a lot with this report. It's got a lot of, you know, different things you can look for on your employees, your call date, schedule date, completed date. And over here on the right is selections that you can select to have shown on the columns of the report. So if you want it subcategory, say you want it everything on here. For the work order, just click it all. Let's see what we get. So if you wanted to see what was completed during, let's do call, because I don't know what's going to show there. I don't want to show there either. That's good. Let's do February 25th or 2025 month. You also here have the military info filter tab. These are the only two reports that have this tab. And so you can also do the same thing to show out for your carve out reasons, other columns you want to see, if you want to see completed time, call time, work order response date and time, any carve out reasons. You can see all that as well. And then you would just hit display. So these are all the work orders that were within all the parameters that I wanted. It has all this different information. You can also, instead of display, over here on the right, you have PDF and Excel, so you can export them to those. You also have filter view. Say this is a report that you want to run all the time. You can go add, and then you can name it whatever you want. Save that view. And so then when you go in, come in here, all right, let's run this view. You can select test, display it, but it'll just go back to whatever settings and reports that you already have. But I'll back it up. Well, with the other reports, there's some other reports that do, there's a lot of different things. You can look at employee activity. We'll do more in-depth training on reports as we get them, get that established. But I think there's a lot of different reports that can help. I think there's more reporting than RealPage had. So we'll be able to get information we need.